Andrew Carnegie and Cornelius Vanderbilt were notable figures during the Gilded Age. They were considered pioneers and captains of industry. However, many of the steps they took to gain success were highly unethical, causing them to become controversial figures in history. To understand their true impact on the American history and economy, we must learn about their rise to success. Andrew Carnegie was born and raised in Scotland, and he made his fortune from building a very powerful steel company. He immigrated to the United States when he was 13 years old and worked many minimum wage jobs to survive. He started out working as a bobbin boy when he was 13 years old, making $1.20 per week. After that, he started working as a telegraph interpreter, making $2.25 per week. In 1853, when he was around 18 years old, he got hired to work as a telegraph operator at a railroad company, but he did so well he eventually grew to become a superintendent. His experience as a superintendent gave him a lot of insight about management. After the Civil War, Carnegie decided to spec into the steel industry. During the war, he learned that due to the new advancements in technology, steel was becoming an ever more popular resource. He switched from working with railroads to working with steel in order to capitalize off of this new craze. He was able to efficiently grow his business with vertical integration, which basically meant that every single supplier that he had was actually owned by him, and every step of the process was also owned by him. It usually kind of went something like this.
Look at this small family-owned refinery. I wonder if you could potentially partner with them.
Due to these factors, Carnegie was able to build a steel empire, and he amassed over $309 billion in today's values. Cornelius Vanderbilt made his wealth in a different way. He was born and raised on Staten Island in New York, and he made his fortune through the railroad business. At a young age, he left school and borrowed money from his mom to buy a small ferry boat. He used his boat to haul people and shipments around for money. His eager attitude helped him gain business partners as well as gain experience. He also earned the nickname the Commodore. Eventually, one of his family friends introduces him to the steamboat industry, where they worked as partners. His experience with navigating the waterways as well as his experience owning a business allowed him to be very successful in the steamboat industry. After the Civil War, Vanderbilt wanted to capitalize on the growing West, so he slowly transitioned his industry from steamboats to railroads. He started out with a railroad company in New York and slowly started to buy out other railroad companies nearby and expanding his empire to cover the entire United States. His past experience with the steamboat industry helped him tremendously while developing his railroad industry. He was able to amass a net worth of over $3 billion in today's money. Now that we understand what got them to their success, it's really important to consider what factors really got them there, and how they were controversial and sometimes unethical. Andrew Carnegie was known for making his factory employees work long hours with dangerous conditions while often cutting their wages to maximize his profits. He also wasn't very receptive to protests, often trying to shut them down with his own means. Vanderbilt was known for buying out his competition and was often criticized for buying his way to success. However, it's also important to consider all of the good that these two men have done for America, such as their philanthropy. Andrew Carnegie alone founded over 2,500 libraries, making education accessible for many more people. Both Vanderbilt and Carnegie have founded their own universities, both of which are very prestigious and have provided education to many Americans. Billionaires, especially in this day and age, have always been controversial figures to the public. However, it's undeniable that both Andrew Carnegie and Cornelius Vanderbilt have left great lasting impressions on America.